In today's show, I'll be breaking down the latest Bitcoin technical analysis, as well as discussing Bitcoin dormant for 5 years or more awakens in new distribution. We'll also be discussing Warren Buffett's Berkshire Hathaway did crash 99% against Bitcoin since 2015. We'll also be discussing the Van Eck CEO says Bitcoin to become at least half the market cap of gold. I'll be sharing his timeline, and that would put the Bitcoin market cap at roughly $8 trillion. We'll also be discussing the first spot Bitcoin ETF gets the green light from the Thailand SEC. And today also the Australian ETF has officially gone live. We'll also be discussing Bitcoin gets a massive $500,000 price tag from Billionaire, Chamath P. I'll be breaking this down for you. We'll also be taking a look at the overall crypto market. All this, plus so much more, in today's show. Now, welcome, crypto fam. Today's show is brought to you by Blackcard Coin. That's right. Let me know if any of you guys are currently using any of the crypto cards from, for example, crypto.com or Bybit, because Blackcard Coin is the first real unlimited crypto credit card. And to check it out, visit blackcardcoin.com. You can actually spend your crypto anywhere where they accept credit or debit cards and get a 10% cash back, which makes it a no-brainer. Also, there are zero fees and no limits in ATMs or when you pay in stores. Existing crypto cards do charge pretty high fees, especially when you're abroad, and they have low limits for free monthly ATMs. So Blackcard clearly doing it big. To get your unlimited crypto credit card, you need to stake Blackcard coin tokens or BC coins. You don't even have to buy the token. You can just simply deposit USDT Tether direct on their site, and it'll be converted to BC coin when staked. Then you can request the physical card, and you'll actually get it in a few days. So I encourage you to do so. You're also going to get 10% cash back on all referrals. So if that sounds good to you, be sure to check out blackcardcoin.com and take advantage of it. And let's get this crypto, shall we? If you're new to the channel, very important to smash the likes and hit the subscribe button and repost this to spread the word. It's greatly appreciated. Today is pod episode number 1660. I'm your host, JV, and it's June 4th, 2024. Brilliant day in the markets. Bitcoin is pumping along with the rest of the crypto market in general. Let's kick it off with our market watch as we do each and every day. Bitcoin did tap 71,000 already this morning. We're still holding strong above 70,200 at the time of the live stream. We have Ether trading just under 3,800, BNB up 7%, and Ton up 6%. And checking out CoinMarketCap.com, the current crypto market cap, sits at 2.61 trillion with 76 billion worth of volume for the past 24 hours. Bitcoin dominance 53.4%, with the Ether dominance at 17.5%. So the Ether dominance is on the decline as Bitcoin dominance is back on the climb. My question for the chat: how high do you think this Bitcoin dominance is likely to climb for this cycle? Holla at your boy. And checking out the top 100 crypto gainers for the past 24 hours. Uni leading the pack, up 20%, followed by Ordi, up 17%, followed by Jasmy, up 10%. Below that, Stacks, Starknet, Kaspa, BNB, and Core. Now, which alts are you guys most bullish on for this particular bull? Holla at your boy. And checking out the Crypto Greed and Fear Index. We're currently rated a 73 in greed. Yesterday, 73. Last week, a 72. And last month, a 69 in greed. So there you have it. My crypto fam, where do you feel the Bitcoin price action is likely to take us for this month of June? Holla at your boy. But anyways, fam, let's keep it moving. Let's break down a little Bitcoin TA. Headline here reads, Bitcoin hash ribbon flashes the first buy signal since the 25,000 Bitcoin price. That's right. We're going to be discussing this right here. Bitcoin heading a lot higher as a classic on-chain metric calls for the resumption of the bull. That's right. Caprioles Edwards says the hash ribbons is back. Bitcoin miners have been forced to readjust since April's block subsidy halving and the hash rate. The estimated aggregate processing power they dedicate to the network confirms it. After hitting all-time highs back in March, it was mid-March, we tapped 73.8, the current local high. The Bitcoin mining hash rate has cooled since and is currently consolidating lower. And for Capriole founder Charles Edwards, this is standard behavior as miners conform to a new economic reality. That's right. The result is Bitcoin's hash ribbons dropping into a new capitulation phase, which is a classic Bitcoin buy signal. Quoting him here, the hash ribbons is back. Perhaps the best long-term Bitcoin buy signal there is. Hash ribbons is now tempting us with the current minor capitulation, which just started 2 weeks ago. The metric measures the 60-day moving average of the hash rate against its 30-day equivalent. Capitulation occurs when the latter drops below the former, signaling a slowdown. Quoting him again, you will often see minor capitulation sync with shuttering of minor operations, bankruptcies, and takeovers. As in the current instance, they also often sync with the Bitcoin halvings. The Bitcoin halving means that old, inefficient mining hardware becomes obsolete and no longer profitable to run because the costs exceed the revenue from the block reward. These mining rigs will typically then be phased out over several weeks following the halving, resulting in falling hash rates, just as we're seeing today. As you can see here in the Bitcoin hash ribbons chart. And continuing, he highlighted the relationship between the hash ribbons weakness and a broader corrective Bitcoin price conditions. So in the long term, such periods are followed by protracted upside. The last capitulation event occurred back in August of 2023 when Bitcoin traded at roughly 25,000. Quoting him again, hash ribbon signals are either loved or ridiculed. Every occurrence brings some debate about their relevance today or why the current signal perhaps doesn't count. This also happened in 2023, but the price was also trading in the 20,000 range when the last hash ribbon buy signal occurred, roughly at 25,000, suggesting this metric still has incredible predictive power today. Let me know if you follow the hash ribbons family, and other analysis sees a classic post-halving reaccumulation phase in progress, something which again chimes with historical norms and typically results in upside continuation. Quoting Edwards again, this upside, we have incredible confluence of technicals and fundamentals which suggest Bitcoin is going a lot higher. We're currently entering the summer months, typically a financial lull, so it may take some time to kickstart the next impulse up, but given the data on hand, that is also not a necessity. So there you have it, family. Let me know if you agree that we are in the bullish time here now that we're entering post-halving summertime, family. But anyways, let's keep it flowing. Next story of the day, long-term hodlers are awakening. That's right. As you can see in this headline, Bitcoin dormant for 5 years or more awakens a new distribution. So let's break this down. The Bitcoin on-chain volume is the source of intrigue this month as older coins return to circulation and their thousands. Things that make you go, That's right. Crypto Quant Spent Output Age, Band's metric, shows that on June 2nd alone, 2,800 BTC moved on chain for the first time in between 2 to 3 years. The tally for the coin stationary for 4 to 5 years was even larger at 4,500 BTC. June 3rd also saw 210 BTC move, which had previously been in wallets for a decade or more. Quoting the analyst here, old coins moving after the old coins moving after the old coins moving. Interesting. And decade-old coins also moving on chain, in fact, occurs fairly regularly. But the latest stage of the Bitcoin bull market has seen an uptick in its frequency. Crypto Quant data shows this oldest cohort of Bitcoin becoming more active beginning at the end of February, in the run-up to what remains Bitcoin's current all-time high of 73,800. That's right. Bitcoin long-term hodler entities holding a given amount of Bitcoin without selling it for 155 days or more continue to broadly resist the temptation to divest themselves of coins. Shout out to my long-term hodlers with the diamond hands. And as Crypto Quant noted last week, newer long-term hodlers owning coins dormant for 1 to 2 years have indeed cooled distribution behavior. Quoting the analyst here, as Bitcoin's price recovers from the recent correction of 56,000, we notice a shift in hodler behavior. The 1 year plus the 2 year cohorts have ceased selling, transitioning from a distribution phase to a holding phase. Hodl gang fam, this change indicates a renewed confidence in Bitcoin's future price potential as these cohorts choose to retain their holdings rather than liquidate them at the current prices. It's because they know where we're at in the cycle. We're about to reach our next leg up. It would be pure insanity for the smart money, aka the long-term hodlers, to be selling at this time in the cycle. What are your thoughts? Now, an accompanying chart compared levels of inactivity amongst the long-term hodlers. On-chain added that various on-chain indicators point to strong underlying bullish sentiment, chiming with subsequent findings from the popular trader Alan Tergard, who shared this weekend. So there you have it. Markets are looking pretty bullish according to all the TA family. Next leg up, send it. Let's get it. Our next story let's actually discuss Warren Buffett's Berkshire Hathaway losing 99% of its value against Bitcoin since 2015. And yes, just yesterday, it crashed. Their stock halted, and his net worth temporarily for a few moments went from like 130 billion down to $1 billion. But then I guess the glitch in the matrix fixed itself. But here's this story. June 3rd, Berkshire Hathaway stock experienced a dramatic but brief drop due to the technical glitch of the matrix on the New York Stock Exchange. The glitch caused Berkshire shares to appear to have fallen by nearly 100%. It was like 97.7%, prompting the NYSE to halt trading on several high-profile stocks to correct the issue. Something that has never happened with Bitcoin. We have never woken up to a glitch in the Bitcoin matrix where Bitcoin loses 99.9% of its value. Well, that's what happens in the stock market, apparently. Near the close of the trading, the NYSE announced it would promptly cancel the erroneous trades that resulted from the earlier technical glitch. Nonetheless, this whole episode has brought the market's attention to Berkshire Hathaway stock gross underperformance against Bitcoin over the past decade without any glitch. That's right. Who's the rat poison now? Mr. Buffett? Just saying. Berkshire stock plummeted by nearly 100% in value compared to Bitcoin since 2015. That's not a glitch. From about 1,000 BTC to 9.15 BTC. Take that, Mr. Munger. Anyways, interestingly, Bitcoin's performance against Berkshire and its top stock holdings starkly contrasts with Berkshire's owner, Warren Buffett's critical view of Bitcoin, which was once famously described as rat poison squared. And according to the results from the Nakamoto Portfolio Simulator, incorporating even just 1% of Bitcoin into Berkshire Hathaway's existing portfolio with its top stock holdings, including Apple, Bank of America, and American Express, would have boosted returns from 214% to 240% on a 5-year adjusted time frame. Meanwhile, allocating 5 to 10% of the portfolio to Bitcoin would have achieved impressive returns at 328 to 410% for Buffett in the same period. Now, Buffett's reticence, or is that the proper word there? Reticence towards Bitcoin has not stopped the crypto from becoming one of the world's most valued assets. Of course, no billionaire can change the fate of Bitcoin. And as of June 4th, Bitcoin's net market cap was around 1.3 trillion, making it the world's 9th largest asset by valuation. And interestingly, Bitcoin is ahead of Meta Platforms and Berkshire, whose market cap is 1.2 billion and 899 million, respectively. So there you have it. Bitcoin's already more valuable than Warren Buffett's Berkshire. So Bitcoin's valuation will likely increase in the coming months and years as it gains traction as an alternative safe haven of gold, which currently holds a market cap of almost 16 trillion. For instance, the price of gold, like Berkshire stock, has dropped over 99% versus Bitcoin since 2015. Do you notice a trend? And Peter Schiff's face right there of unacceptance of what's happening. But according to veteran trader Peter Brandt, Bitcoin will likely grow 230% to reach a new record high of 100 ounces of gold per Bitcoin. And in doing so, Bitcoin may jump above silver's market cap, which is currently sitting at 1.68 trillion next. I feel it's inevitable. And I also feel Bitcoin will surpass the market cap of gold, which is going to be one of the stories we're going to be discussing here shortly. Let's actually dive into our next story of the day. Let's discuss Bitcoin overtaking half the gold market cap, which would take Bitcoin to roughly 8 trillion. Currently, we're at like 1.36 trillion. So this headline reads right here, Van Eck CEO says Bitcoin to become at least half the market cap of gold. Here's his particular timeline. The chief executive of financial giant Van Eck believes the Bitcoin's market cap will soar to at least half the gold market cap. In a new interview with Scott Melker, they say it could take up to a decade for traditional finance to help drive Bitcoin's market cap to almost 8 trillion. The current gold market cap is sitting at almost 16 trillion. Meanwhile, the Bitcoin market cap is 1.36 trillion. Quoting him here, I say Bitcoin will eventually become at least half the market cap of gold. So I think that takes another 5 or 10 years. Our TradeFi clients are still very confused by Bitcoin, and they don't want to talk about it, but their clients make them talk about it. So we have a long ways to go. And also, buying activities is not helpful. They want to buy it at the tops, and then it is going to go to zero at the bottom, and so they're bad at allocating. In the United States, there are a lot of firms, obviously in Europe as well, that allocate people's portfolios for them. And so my hope is those allocators will be open-minded enough to consider gold or Bitcoin at the right time of the cycle and disciplined to take advantage of these trends for their clients. Because I kind of give up that the end clients will get it. Give up that the end clients will get it. He also believes there's an increasing appetite by investors outside of the US to own Bitcoin because it is not under the purview of the Society for Worldwide Interbank Financial Telecommunications, SWIFT. That's right, as he shares here. Investors outside the US increasingly don't want to be tied into SWIFT in the US financial system and the political control, which comes with it. And to watch this interview he did of him predicting Bitcoin reaching an 8 trillion market cap, check the show notes below the video in the description. Now, I also agree with that sentiment that none of us want to continue to deal with the legacy banking sector, especially SWIFT, because it's so freaking outdated. Do you know that a portion of the wires never even get sent through? And they're so, it takes so much time away. So, for example, if I wanted to send a wire here in Puerto Rico bank, I will typically have to sit in line on the waiting list for 60 minutes to 2 hours. Communicate with a banker that will try to convince you that it's a bad idea to send a wire, and they'll tell you how long it's going to take, and they'll try to convince you any other way to send the funds. And if you get past that, then you actually send the wire. It doesn't actually appear until the following day. And typically 48 hours from the time the wire is sent, they can receive the funds. This is the slowest, oldest way, and it's brutal. I hate it. I can't stand walking into a bank sending a wire transfer. So with Bitcoin, it puts an end to all of that because the transaction is the actual settlement, right? And every transaction goes through. And as long as you put the correct address to the recipient, they'll actually receive it. And it could be instantaneous. Only take, Also, wires are not cheap. Bank wires can be $20 to $30 as well, depending upon the location of the bank in which you're sending it. And I'm not even talking about international wires. I'm just talking about domestically. So Bitcoin is kind of like the nail in the coffin for the legacy banking system. Let me know if you agree with that. Anyways, fam, let's discuss breaking news out of Thailand. Shout out to the Thailand fam, like Jerry Bangkok. What up, brother? Headline reads, first spot Bitcoin ETF gets the green light from the Thailand SEC, baby. That's right. The Securities and Exchange Commission of Thailand has officially approved One Asset Management to launch the country's first spot Bitcoin ETF, a landmark decision in the nation's financial sector. This ETF will be exclusively available to wealthy and institutional investors, reflecting a cautious regulatory stance towards retail investor participation. The approved fund is set for distribution May 31st. Let's go to June 6th. 2 more days, with an assigned investment risk level of 8, indicating a high risk profile. The One Bitcoin ETF will allocate its assets across 11 leading global Bitcoin funds to ensure liquidity and security. These underlying funds have been vetted by regulatory agencies in the US and Hong Kong. Now, digital assets are an alternative asset that have low correlation with other financial assets. They are sustainable to help investors diversify suitable investment risks. As per what they shared, this approval follows a trend seen globally with the US SEC and Hong Kong SEC, their version of the SEC, recently endorsing spot Bitcoin ETFs. These international endorsements likely influenced Thailand's SEC, highlighting the growing acceptance of Bitcoin ETFs as the mainstream investment option. Bitcoin's market cap just shy of 1.4 trillion at the time of recording, compared to gold's 14 trillion or 16 trillion, indicating substantial growth potential given Bitcoin's finite supply of 21 million coins. And although the supply of Bitcoin is limited to 21 million, demand is rising as it gains popularity. We see high growth potential for the biddies. And over the past 11 years, Bitcoin has demonstrated an average annual return of 124%, with volatility averaging 83% per per year. Investing in Bitcoin can offer good returns, but comes with high volatility, they emphasize. Now, the on-EAM advises investors to allocate up to 5% of their portfolio to Bitcoin. This strategy is expected to yield an average return of almost 9% per year, with a Sharpe ratio of 0.7 and a maximum drawdown of 22.4%. Comparatively, a portfolio without Bitcoin would yield an average return of 5.8% per year, with a Sharpe ratio of 0.48 and a maximum drawdown of 20%. A key feature of the One Bitcoin ETF is its focus on the security of the coin storage. They stress the importance of secure storage, citing historical issues with data loss and theft in direct Bitcoin investments. Quoting them again, investing in Bitcoin directly through various platforms contains risks, with past problems including data loss or stolen digital assets via the online system. The ETF mitigates these risks by using custodians that adhere to institutional standards, ensuring that coins are stored offline, offering high security. The Thai SEC's approval responds to increasing demand from local institutions for regulated Bitcoin investment options. This move aligns Thailand with other jurisdictions like the US, Hong Kong, and even Australia, because Australia's ETF just officially went live, I think, yesterday, broskies. So it's game time, game theory in full effect, and even the UK, which have embraced regulated Bitcoin investment vehicles earlier this year. And while they have secured its position as the first to offer the spot ETF, the MFC Asset Management is still awaiting regulatory approval for its own ETF. The competitive landscape in Thailand's emerging spot Bitcoin ETF market will be closely watched as more firms seek to tap into the growing institutional interest of digital assets. I think this is pretty big news and pretty exciting. I'm a big fan of Thailand. It's actually one of my favorite places. I spent 30 days there many years back, but I love it personally. I think it is an amazing culture. I love the temples. I love the people. I love Buddhist culture in general. And yeah, just another reason to go visit their country for embracing Bitcoin. So let's freaking go. Now for our feature story of the day. Billionaire Chamath P predicts a massive $500,000 Bitcoin price tag. So let's break down this prediction, and shout out Chamath P and everyone just joining the live stream. So yeah, here we go. Venture capitalist and billionaire investor Chamath P predicts that Bitcoin could witness an unprecedented price increase to $500,000 per coin. This ambitious forecast hinges on the potential for a bull run following Bitcoin's fourth halving cycle, which we all know is destiny because it happens post-halving every cycle. So let's break it down. Chamath has entered a notable discussion regarding the impact of historical halving cycles on the Bitcoin value. The billionaire investor shared a price analysis illustrating Bitcoin's performance and trend patterns following each halving event. And according to Chamath, historically, Bitcoin has reached new all-time highs after each halving cycle. This was the first halving where we broke that all-time high pre-halving. So this is kind of unprecedented as well. He highlighted a correlation between Bitcoin's halving events from 2012 and 2024, detailing the Bitcoin price action 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, 12 months, and 18 months post-halving. He even shares this illustration here. It shows you Bitcoin can reach more than $500,000 per coin by October 2025, assuming it follows the same price pattern as cycles 2 and 3. I'll break it down further. Chamath P noted that during the first 3 months after a Bitcoin halving event, investors are usually still reassessing the event and its impact on the crypto market. However, he revealed that from 6 to 18 months post-halving, Bitcoin witnessed an exponential price appreciation, pushing it to new all-time highs. Quoting him here, the Bitcoin price has increased materially following each halving, with the bulk of the returns realized between 12 months and 18 months after the halving event. He disclosed that 18 months after Bitcoin's first halving cycle, the crypto's price increased 45x. Following the second halving cycle, Bitcoin rose almost 28x. And after the third halving, it surged nearly 8x. And based on these halving patterns, Chamath has projected Bitcoin's future value to reach $500,000 per coin by October 2025, expecting it to follow a similar trend as its previous halving cycles. Let me know if you agree or disagree with that bullish price prediction for the king, sitting at $500,000 per coin by next year, family. It's right around the corner. Let's go. In the discussion, he also disclosed that by analyzing the average patterns of Bitcoin's previous halving cycles, the crypto could potentially surge to a peak of 1.4 million. Now we're really talking. He declared that Bitcoin can completely replace gold if it reaches such levels of appreciation, emphasizing its potential to become a digital currency with transactional utility for hard assets. So based on the averages of the second and third halving cycles, the billionaire investor projects Bitcoin to rise to 99,600 6 months after the halving event in April, reaching 238,000 in 9 months, 362,000 in 12 months, and nearly 500,000 per coin in 18 months. Again, that would be roughly October of 2025. He also disclosed several factors that can contribute to the Bitcoin rise to 500,000 per coin. He stated that the increasing demand for the spot ETFs could have significant impact on the value of Bitcoin this year in 2024. This prediction may hold weight considering Bitcoin saw a consistent price increase at the beginning of the year after the approval. I believe it was officially launched on January 11th, and now collectively those Bitcoin ETFs hold over 1 million Bitcoin, which is 5% of the circulating supply. And that's just the ETFs in the United States. And now as game theory continues to play out all around the world, we now have ETFs over in Australia, one about to launch over in like we just covered in Thailand. We also just recently got the ETFs launched in Hong Kong, and potentially for the mainland investors in China. We're going to have an ETF soon from El Salvador. Now we have nation state adoption, such as Bukele's, beautiful people there in El Salvador. So there's a big, there's so much bullishness in the market, macroeconomic wise, family. And if you start to really consider the finite limited supply of the biddies, considering, the ETFs already have 5% of the circulating supply. Satoshi already has 5% of the circulating supply. Over 1 million Bitcoin donated to the network, untouched, unscathed, 1.1 million to be more precise. We also have big bulls, that have big kahunas as well. You have Kathy Wood of ARK Invest. You have, Fundstrat's Thomas Lee. You have Bukele, a nation state, continuing to buy those Bitcoin dips. You have other nation state adoption. Potentially Mr. 100 is a nation state. You could have potential, Bitcoin adoption in the Middle East, Bitcoin adoption in Russia. They're making a Bitcoin mining hub over in Ethiopia. There's been a lot of talk of Bitcoin mining. A lot is happening. A lot is going on. We have Wall Street adoption. BlackRock, world's largest asset manager, is now the largest hodler of Bitcoin in the world through their proxy custodian, Coinbase. So it's on. It's on like Donkey Kong, fam. Where do you feel the Bitcoin price is likely to take us for the cycle peak? Do you agree with Chamath P, the billionaire prediction of Bitcoin reaching potentially 500,000 by October of 2025? Let me know your thoughts. And welcome to the Q&A segment of the live show. I personally have been calling for this particular cycle anywhere a range of 222,000 as my low, which would be a bear scenario. And I believe we can go as high as 750,000 per coin, more as my bull target. I want to know your thoughts on that. I think it occurs next year in 2025 personally. What are your thoughts on that? Let me know. I'm going to read these out loud. Can't wait for Bitcoin to hit 6 digits. Plus then we'll sell 1 and 50 Cardano, 5 to 10. Not yo keys, nacho cheese, nacho keys, not your coins. Thanks for the reminder. Take all of your crypto off the exchanges, put it in a cold storage device. Nacho keys, nacho coins. And also keep in mind that Bitcoin ETF BTC can eventually be confiscated by the US government. Don't trust them. They've confiscated the gold before, 1933 Gold Seizure Act. Max Kaiser firmly believes that they could just as well seize the Bitcoin from the Bitcoin ETF in the name of national security, especially when you have corrupt world leaders in charge. I won't mention any names. We're on the tube, but can I get a hashtag FJB? Appreciate it. Hector0934, thanks for the sub, fam. Respect. July 2025. 580,000. Now we're talking, Stephen. Bitcoin hodlers are the bestest. Amen. JC Ice, baby. 225,000 end of the year. Send it. 500 to 750,000 for the cycle peak. Bring it. Been good hodling. Ha ha. Shout out Dirty Bird. 950,000 peak this cycle. Bring it. Eldorena. I'll celebrate to that. The government can't touch my biddies. Amen to that, Bone Daddy. That's a beautiful thing. It's about to get my country and Western. It's about to get country and Western. There's my country and Western. accent for you. The cycle stop will be October 2025. FJB. Amen. 750,000 next year, says Susie. Don't ever sell. Just take out a loan with the Bitcoin as collateral and pay off in a year. There you go. That's the MicroStrategy strategy. Never sell them biddies. Hashtag FJB, FJB. Amen. BLX weekly since inception. Draw a fib channel through today, catching the all-time high. Add the 1.14 and the 1.236 fibs. 1.14 sits at 400,000 and the 1.236 sits at 3 million. All before the next halving. This is pre-2028. Next halving scheduled 2028. 560,000 next year. ETF the Lizard. Are we talking about the lizard people? Country Western. That's right. I don't care how high Bitcoin goes. I'm never selling. It's going up forever, Laura. But good luck to all who do sell. Yeah, please don't depart with your biddies and give them to BlackRock, for Christ's sake. Once you learn how to self-custody, you better learn how to hodl. Yeah, you got to learn how to hodl. Hodl be thy name. It's one of the 10 SAC commandments. I make a 2,000 fiat bet the Bitcoin will hit 150 G's by the end of the year. I'm all for it. Send it, Moro. Bring it. I'm with it. Even FunStrat's Tom Lee also predicting 150,000 this year. I'd love to see it. It's very doable. There's no guarantee, obviously. This is not investment advice. This show is for entertainment purposes only. So I just want to be clear on that, family. There's no guarantees in life. Lizard people say hecklefish. Hecklefish. There you go. Is XRP a fake stable coin? Well, in the crypto sphere, it's the closest thing to a stable coin because it's been sitting at 50 cents for like 5 years, give or take. So the closest thing you can get to it.